It's Saturday night and it's chat time with Wendy. Oops, I hear my another blooper from me. I heard my voice. Anyway, welcome to our regular Saturday live stream. And for tonight, it is our seventh regular chikahan. On our seventh regular live stream, we are presenting to you Valentine Weekend Extended. There you go. But before that, I would like to acknowledge those of you who have been here waiting and always watching consistently since the very beginning, since our very first live stream in January. So allow me to say hello to Luis Veronica Cabia, Lizelle, Jenny Labuta, William, Flor, of course, our dear Paula, Lalian. Hello, Lalian. Jeremy Mercado, Yunjan Nim, she's a regular. Applejoy, Melissa, Chinkai, Jenny, R. Benedicto. Thank you. Sana hopefully some will just follow later, right? Because I know some of you have been waiting then. Maybe they just forgot that time. So I will look forward. Just make yourself present here. So, um, you know, thank you for making this Saturday night a part of your Saturday night habit. I like that. All right. So since we are on our guests for tonight, you know very well that they are a couple, and they will share with us. They will share with us their kilig moments. So be prepared to be kilig. Paula, I met Paula as an honorary reporter. We attended several events as honorary reporter, and I could say we bonded very well, especially during our trips to Busan. Paula came to Korea as a graduate student. Joris came to Korea as an exchange student. You might know some of our you might know some of our Filipinos and Filipinas students who came to Korea as students, and most of them are single and ready to mingle. Of course, I mean, you've got to add some spice to your life, especially if you're in a foreign land and studying. Some of them, they met their oppa. Most of them have separated, but they're good. Some of them have married their oppas, but Paula met her Mon Cheri in the land of the oppas. So there you go. They are married. They are a married couple now. Are you interested to hear their story? Let us all welcome Paula and Joris.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Paula. Hi, Joris.
Hello po.
Hello.
Let us know. Tell us briefly about yourselves.
Okay, you want to start?
Yeah, well, quickly. So I'm French, and I'm in Korea for almost 4 years. And yeah, I first arrived in Korea as an exchange student, and I was in Daegu, and that's where we met actually. But we'll tell about it later. And then I'm a software developer, and I'm working for a bit more than 3 year here now. Yep. And I'm 29 years old. And of course, I'm married.
Good job. Hi, everyone. I'm Paula, and I'm from the Philippines. I came to Korea last 2015 as a scholar graduate student, and I've been living here in Korea for 6 years now. And after I graduated from the university, I had an opportunity to work with a computer gaming company for 3 years. And then after that, we got married in the Philippines. More on that later. And now I'm just a freelancer, YouTuber, influencer, charot, and honorary reporter for Korea.net and a full-time housewife.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I would like to share with you that Paula is also a YouTuber. So check out her channel. I have it here. Where is that photo? Check out her channel. For a while, I'll get that photo. There. After our live stream, please check her out. Name is it's just Paula. Okay, remember that it's just Paula. She shares her stories there in her YouTube channel. She shares her life here and how to get scholarship, things like those. So you will be interested. Check it out later. All right. So you have briefly, hello, Joris and Paula. You have briefly told us already about how you met, or oh no, about the first time you came over. Um, how long have you been as boyfriend and girlfriend before you got married?
Four, 4 years,
4
4 years.
years.
Apa.
Okay, so how did you meet?
Um, well, it's not like a magical story, just pretty classical story. So there was this event in Yeongnam University, which was her university. So I think they do this every year. It's like a kind of end of year live concert inside the university. And at that time, actually, there was a show from Psy, which was pretty crazy for the at that time. And of course, like most of Daegu students all went there to celebrate and party. And the thing is, there was a lot of people, and I didn't know this university at all, and it was during the night. So at some point, I kind of got lost, and I was looking for my way, and I was asking people. Yeah, actually, only Paula agreed to help me because she was going on the same in the same area. So yeah, we like walked together until there, and we just have a quick chat, and then we just exchange our messenger, and then from here we started chatting, and then started dating, and the rest is history.
Oh, wow. So you met by chance.
Yes po. Funny story, Ate Wendy. Kasi po, nung nag-concert po si Sai, nung araw na yon, I wasn't planning to go to that event. I
Uh-huh.
wasn't really planning because we have a class the next day. So my classmates, they literally pulled me out of my bed because we knew each other's passwords sa pintuan po. So yeah, they literally pulled me out of the bed and hey, we'll wait for you there. Get ready, dressed up, blah blah blah. So ayun po, siguro po kung hindi po ako nagpunta, hindi ko rin po siya ma-meet that time.
True, true. It's fate. You're fated to meet that night. Did you have some company, Joris, or you were alone? That's why you didn't know your way.
No, I came with friends, but as a student, and especially at that time, I was a bit going crazy. So, we you start with being with your friend, and then like over time during the night, you start splitting up all over the place, and then at the end, you don't really know where you are. So that's kind of what happened to me at that time. But yeah, I came with some friends at first, but then I lost them. So
Kasi po Ate Wendy,
Oh, wow. So,
yung Nam University is one of the biggest universities in Korea din po. Kaya madali pong maliligaw talaga.
yeah, that's where the concert was held, right?
Yes.
Paula, which university did you go to?
Yung Nam University in Daegu.
Yongnam, and then you were And that's where the concert was held. What about Joris? Which university did he go to?
So I was in Kemyong University. Um,
Kemyong.
yeah, it's a bit far from Yeongnam, but yeah, like I mentioned, there was Psy doing a show, so yeah,
Yeah.
we went.
Yung time
So
po
of course,
nun, nung time na yun, sikat po yung kanta ni Psy na Oppa Gangnam Style. Yun po
right.
yung time na yun, opo.
Yeah. We know how big he was and how big that song was. So like all of you, a lot of especially university students went to your university for that concert.
Opo.
And I don't, in such a big environment, such a big school, such a big place, you met each other. So parang destiny.
Maybe.
After that, you exchanged numbers or contact numbers, and then, as what Jory said, the rest was destiny.
Opo. Actually po, Ate Wendy, that time wala po akong Korean mobile number. Kaya po sa Messenger lang po kami nag-uusap
Yeah.
that time.
Why? Were
Facebook
you new
Messenger.
here that time?
Opo.
Like
Ako po.
fresh? Yeah.
Yes po.
So you didn't have any number yet?
Wala pa po. 4 months pa lang po ako nun dito sa Korea. That time.
Okay, wow. So, Paula, what was your course, graduate course?
Master's degree po sa International Development Cooperation.
And what about Joris?
I was in video game programming. It was more like holidays than study.
It was more of a holiday for you.
Yeah, we didn't work very hard.
Can you say the same, Paula, for your course?
No po. No. More on intensive po yung program namin. Very
Yeah.
intensive.
But you learned Korean, right, Paula?
Only the basic Korean. Yes po.
Is it part
Level
of your
2.
curriculum?
Yes po.
What about Joris? Korean was part of your curriculum?
Well, yes, but the thing is, I'm not sure how Kim Jong University works, like their politics and all this stuff. But basically, it was fine not to go to classes for like 10 times every semester. So of course, if you give students the opportunity not to go to class, well, they won't go. So
Right, exactly.
so yeah, I didn't learn much.
So, Joris, how long did you stay here for your studies?
So first I stayed 10 months, but then I had to. It was my 4th year in my master degree in France. So I had to go back to France to finish my master degree, and then I came back almost 2 years after. So yeah, 10 months
Yeah,
overall.
that's what I learned from. That's what I gathered from Paula before, that you had this long distance relationship. But before that, so Paula got to meet you when she was just here for 4 months. So
Opo.
Paula, there was no opportunity for you to meet an oppa.
Meron po. Meron po.
Okay, tell us about it. Sorry, Joris, set aside first. We are interested with the oppa thing.
Before I met Joris po, kasi po university nga po yun. So, meron pong mga programs na kalat-kalat sa university. May mga, hindi ko po maalala kung anong exactly na event that time sa university. Tapos, meron pong isang Korean doon na nagpunta po siya ng Philippines for a long time to study English. Tapos, na-meet niya nga po ako, tsaka yung isa kong kaklase, kasi nagsasalita po kaming Tagalog parehas. Tapos biglang lumapit po sa amin yung Koreano na yun na, uy, Filipino. Tapos nagkatingin na po kami ng kaklase ko na Filipino na, yes, medyo creepy po in a way. Pero gusto lang po niyang maghanap ng friends. Pero alam niyo naman po yung mga Korean oppas, hindi naman po lahat yung intention nila is pure. So, kaya yun po, nung una, parang, sige, friend-friend, ganyan. Tapos, ano po, mababasa naman din po kasi sa body language nila. So, ayun po, parang cut off ko na po siya. Ganon.
So that was before you met Joris or during the
Opo.
time you met Joris?
Before I met Joris.
Ah, okay. So there really was no, uh, there was really nobody for Joris to get jealous of because you already cut off that Oppa potential even before you met him.
Opo. I think so.
Yeah, Paula, because as I've said in the introduction, a lot of students, Joris, I know you are familiar with this as well. A lot of students, even I think French, a lot of students come here to Korea and then they would, of course, mingle and have that wanting to meet an oppa because you are in the land of the oppas. Did you ever entertain that thought before you met Joris, or even during that time you met him, and even during that time that you were in a long distance relationship?
Honestly po ate, hindi po. Kasi po, before po ako nagpunta dito sa Korea, kakagaling ko lang po sa isang heartbreak sa nanligaw po sa akin ng 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya po, nung dumating po ako dito, sabi ko magfo-focus lang po ako sa studies. Kasi po, secondly, scholar po ako. So, kailangan kong i-maintain po yung grades. Kasi nga po, pag bumaksak, kailangan magbayad po ng tuition fee. So, kaya hindi ko po talaga in-entertain or naisip na magkaka-boyfriend po ako dito or makakahanap po ako ng oppa. So, ayun po.
Pero 4 months into Korea, you met Joris. So in that 4 months, was there like a legal stage, a courting stage, or you just kind of understood each other and then you became a couple? Tell us about it.
At first po, we became really friends, like really close friends. And then, I don't remember kung when we really started dating officially. But then, parang yung flow po, tuloy-tuloy lang. So, ayun nga po, we started as friends, and then we really got close, and then we started dating. So, ayun po. Ganun po yung naging flow namin. Dalawa.
Yeah. I don't know what you said, so.
So Joris cannot understand Filipino?
Opo, konti lang po.
Perfect. So, the ligawan, it was a spontaneous kind of thing, right?
Opo. But he also knows about our Filipino culture of courting, which is
Did he do that?
Yes po, except the harana part.
Yeah. So how does a Frenchman court?
I don't know if there is a recipe for that. Well, I think personally, from my own experience, you're supposed to be kind of gentleman style. So, you pay the bills and you try to bring the lady to nice places, and you try to be romantic, buy flowers or small gift, and mostly you kind of set aside a lot of time in your life to actually work on the relationship. So I don't know. I don't know how much details I should go into, but yeah, just be gentleman. I guess that would be the word to describe it.
Opo, totoo po yun. At saka po sobrang spoiled ko po nung nililigawan pa lang po niya ako. Kasi like he mentioned, he's the one always paying for everything. Even though I'm not really comfortable with it. Kasi panahon po natin ngayon, 'di ba, parang, kailangan hati tayo 'pag magbabayad,
Hindi.
gano'n.
Hindi.
Ay, 'di ba? So, ayun po,
Magkaiba tayo ng panahon.
sobrang spoiled ko po sa kanya kasi talagang ayan, yung mga gift givings, meron po talaga. Tapos, ang one thing na nagustuhan ko din po sa kanya is yung pagiging consistent po niya sa courting stage.
Consistent. What do you mean by consistent?
Um, ano po, talagang nagsumikap po siya to win my heart. Kasi po, yung ibang foreigners, di ba po parang hindi naman po sila talaga serious kapag gusto nilang ligawan. Lalo na po yung Filipino culture kasi may culture nga po tayo. So, mostly involved din po yung family natin sa courting stage. So, may ibang foreigners na natatakot, nagba-back out, pero siya talagang go.
So, do you mean to say that Joris was also courting you and your family? How's that?
Siguro po not in terms of material things na kino-court din po niya yung family ko. But during the courting stage po, I told my family about him kasi po I want my family to know everything about me, and it's also one way din po na i-build ko yung trust ng parents ko sa akin na nandito ako sa Korea, na wala po akong tinatago or hindi po ako nagsisinungaling sa kanila, yung mga ganun po.
Okay. Sa let's go back to that day, to that night you met. Was there Paula? Because he's French. He's not your typical oppa that you see in your university, and he's not a Filipino that you have encountered in the Philippines. Was there a spark already sa'yo?
Honestly po, no.
Wala.
No.
Wala po. Wala pong spark. Hindi naman po sa pagiging choosy ako, pero meron po kasi tayong mga ideal man po talaga, di ba po? And for me po kasi, importante po yung first and last. Kasi po yung parents ko po, sila pong dalawa, first and last. So gusto ko po, kung mag-boyfriend ako, gusto ko, siya din po yung mga pangasawa ko, hindi yung yung fling-fling or parang waste of time lang po kasi yun for me. So, yun po. Pero yun nga po, nung time na yun na nag-meet po kami first time, wala pa pong spark.
What about Joris? Was there a spark towards Paula? Did you feel that I want to be with this girl, I want to court this girl?
I wouldn't say that. It's just I just what to say. It's just like natural feeling you have towards the other person. So of course there's like the first look, right? So usually the first look is just like physical. How do you say? Physical judgment, right? So am I attracted to this person or not? And
So were
then
you attracted to Paula? Physically
uh,
attracted to Paula the first time you met her?
yeah, she was like pretty and she put all the makeup and blah blah blah. She was ganda ganda mo.
Did you hear that? Friends, did you hear that? Joris said, ganda ganda mo. So you are teaching him very well. Paula, you are teaching Joris Tagalog very well.
Thank
Good
you
job.
po. Apo.
What are the other Tagalog words that Joris know?
Weird things like bakot,
Tulog ka na.
tulog ka na. No, mahal kita, of course. Aba ng hair.
There's this comment, at least honest, si Sir Joris, and also Paula. She was also very honest in saying that there was no spark the first time they met. But it doesn't always have to have spark, right? For a relationship to succeed or to last, because a lot. I think that spark thing is mostly in novels or in dramas, in movies. The real one, the real thing, grows in you, grows as you keep on meeting each other. But Joris and Paula, why did you keep on meeting each other? You got each other's messenger, ID. If there was no attraction, why did you go out of your way to meet each other?
Uh, I mean, the first impression I had personally when we first met during that night was it's like it's a positive feeling, like you just chat for maybe a couple of minutes, but usually that's enough to make a quick judgment and yeah, get like a first feeling about the person, and then just by chatting a lot you start learning about what the person like and what does she like to do. And sometimes even with some friends, sometimes you chat for 5 minutes, but at some point you don't have anything else to say, and that's it, right? But we chatted a lot, so it was already a good sign about um, the compatibility between each other. And yeah, I mean, from there when we started actually dating and going out together, um, it just got better and better. So
Opo.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. From the first chat, it just naturally, spontaneously, went into what you are right now. So, from the first meeting, how long did it take for you to meet again? Because, as Jory said, it was quite a distance from his university.
Yes po. Yung university ko po parang sa kabilang dulo ng subway, tapos yung sa kanya din po sa kabilang dulo din po. So, talagang magkabilang dulo ng universities po kami. Ano po ulit yung tanong?
how long
How,
between we first met
Ah,
and we started actually dating?
not
right.
not very long.
Yeah, it was maybe 1 2 weeks. I'm not really sure. I don't remember exactly, but it was not so long.
Kasi, also Ate Wendy, because that time, he was about to go back to France.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we met, and then I left Korea 3 or 4 months after.
Opo. So,
Okay.
talagang we make most out of the time
Mm.
din po to get to know each other, to spend time together. So, yun po. Talagang nag-blossom po
Mm.
yung from friendship to courtship to romance to love.
Yeah,
True. Bye
true.
bye.
You had to have that foundation before he had to go, right?
Opo.
Otherwise, it will just be one of those flings. Paula, French men are known to be romantic. So how romantic is Joris?
Very, very romantic po. Um, yung love language po ba yung tawag doon?
All
Love
right. So what is
language.
his love language?
Physical touch po siya. Ako naman po quality time. Pero yun nga po, very romantic po talaga siya. Not just in terms of physical touch, gift giving, pati po sa words. Actually po, para po siyang writer. Ang galing niya pong magsulat talaga kapag binibigyan niya po ako ng card, ganun. Kaya po masaya po ako kapag, di ba po, nung birthday ko po, naalala niyo po yun, sabi ko, kahit card lang, masaya na ako. So, yun po.
Oo.
As in, very
So
romantic
very
po talaga.
very traditional. It's like the physical card, huh? Not just email or
Opo.
text.
Opo.
So because you were how long was your long distance relationship?
2 years po.
Did you receive a lot of cards, a lot of letters?
And that time, hindi, parang only one time. Only
Yeah.
one time po. Pero kasi po, everyday naman po
Uh,
talaga, meron po siyang baon na nakakilig na mga, kahit hindi naman po quotes eh. Talagang honest lang po talaga siya. Pero yung honesty niya po, may kasamang kilig
Yeah, yeah.
sa mga chats. Ayun po. At saka po,
Mhm.
talagang we made sure to make time po kahit nung long distance kami, nag-set po kami ng routine, kung kailan po tatawag. Kasi po, ang hirap po nung time difference na kapag matutulog na ako, parang papasok pa lang po siya nun sa office, tapos ako naman po yung papasok ng internship, tapos siya naman po yung matutulog. So we decided to set a routine every weekend po nung long distance kami and to commit po
Yeah.
talaga.
Kasi yours is not just about international relationship. Because, I think, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but mostly here, marriages or relationships between couples from different countries or different races, they call it international relationship. So yours is not just about the factor is not just about international relationship, but also you have to deal with long distance.
Opo.
So there you go. From Paula, it takes a lot of commitment and routine. Routine being you give time to each other.
Yes po. And also, Ate Wendy, nung long distance po kami, kasi po hindi ko naman po na-realize na gano'n. I know it's difficult, pero
Mm-hmm.
kasi po 'pag hindi mo talaga pinagdaanan, hindi mo talaga mararanasan kung ano po yung pakiramdam, 'di ba po? So, nung
True.
nag-LDR po kami, sobrang hirap po for me kasi po I was doing my internship, I was writing my thesis at the same time. So, parang masyado pong overwhelming for me kasi nga po siya din po yung first boyfriend ko nun. So, medyo parang nangangapa din po ako sa relationship namin. And there were times na nakipag-break po ako sa kanya during the long distance relationship. Pero, he never let me go po.
Actually, I was supposed to ask that if there was a time when you were about to break up, but that's very nice. Joris, you never let her go. What did you do?
Um, well, yeah, there was some times where it was a bit like the struggle, especially like I mentioned earlier. Sometimes you just don't have anything to say, so you call each other, but then yeah, you don't know what to talk about, so you just share your day, but that's usually pretty quick, and then you can get bored of the situation at some point, and then you start, just putting everything back in question. So you start doubting, and you're wondering if it's really worth it, because the thing is, you don't know if it will work at some point. So it's, yeah, it's a like quite a big commitment, because at the same time, of course, you cannot date anyone else, which makes sense, right? So yeah, it's hard, but um, I think one main thing that helped us was we always try to kind of have some activities together. So like we try to find some kind of online games, or just like watching. We
Hmm.
did a lot of like movie watching together. So we were just watching the same movie at the same time. So yeah, some kind of like extra activities aside just talking that helped us to keep going. And otherwise, yeah, I came back in Korea twice during this long distance for like 6 weeks each time, to just like give a new boost to the relationship and help us to hold those tough times. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really a real talk. Because there will always be time when you have to question, especially there's as a couple, you still need to have that physical intimacy, holding hands and just being there. But a long distance relationship is, you're not even like 1 year yet when he left, right? So it took a lot of hard work and commitment to the both of you. And I appreciate it when Joris was so honest when he questioned, is this going to work? I think it's a very common question for all couples who are in a long distance relationship. Paula, what made you hold on?
For me po kasi Ate Wendy, as a Christian, pinagdadasal po talaga namin kay God at saka po ang turo po kasi sa amin sa church, kailangan meron po kaming word of God. So yun po yung pinanghawakan ko na yung binigay po sa akin ni God na pinag-pray mo yan eh. So, andyan na. So, ano pang hinihingi mo or ano pang hinahanap mo. So, yun po talaga yung nag-hold on sa akin. Tsaka nakita ko naman po yung potential and yung consistency ni Joris sa akin and kung paano po niya pinaglaban yung relationship namin. So, ayun po. Talagang kailangang ipaglaban talaga. Ayun po.
Oo, ayan. Ayan na, yung sobrang kilig factor. Because, you know, Joris, when I first met Paula, no, our first meeting, wala talaga, right? But when we went to Busan together, Paula was just all about Joris and all about, you know, you got married, your marriage, and how you baby her and all that. So she was really very, very in love. She is very, very in love. Friends, they're still on their honeymoon stage. So, Paul, I understand there was quite of a hesitation. Sorry, but before that, I'm jumping. Joris, you are Paula's first boyfriend. You know that, right?
Yeah, she told me. Yeah.
Yeah. And is Paula your first girlfriend?
No. I had like one serious relationship before, but I was still young. Um, yeah, I was maybe like 16, 17. So, I mean, usually it's not made for lasting when you're so young because life goes on after. Um, but yeah, honestly, I didn't have so many girlfriends because I'm not very good at flirting and, and stuff like that.
Is that true,
And
Paula?
Hmm, hindi naman po.
So, Joyce is aware of, because Paula has always been very vocal about, staying true to the Filipino tradition, Filipino culture. Um, I understand there was some kind of hesitation from your parents the first time they learned about, Joris being a French and a Westerner. How was it? How did you
Um,
manage to convince them that this is real, this is good?
my parents po, not really hesitant, pero more on they're very worried about me and concerned kasi nga po, mag, we have different cultures
Right.
and we have different beliefs. So, that time po kasi si Joris, he was a party guy. So, meron po siyang mga vices din that time.
Which your parents
So,
know? Did your parents know
yes,
about those?
they knew it. Also, tumigil din po siya. Pero I
Yeah.
didn't tell him to stop it. Because he knows, like every time kapag magkasama po kami, kapag may nagyosi, talagang hate na hate ko po kasi talaga yon. Talagang malayo pa lang naaamoy ko na, gano'n. Sobrang sensitive ko po. And so yun nga po, my parents were very concerned about me that time kasi po sa atin, siyempre parang ang mindset po ng mga Filipino parents, baka ang gusto lang ng mga Westerners is about, yun, pwede ko po bang sabihin yung word?
Yeah, yeah. You did mention that also
Opo,
before.
parang
Yeah.
ang iniisip po nila is ang gusto lang nila sa mga Asians is sex. So, yun po yung worries nila sa akin. Pero as time goes by, kasi binibuild up ko din po si Joris sa kanila na wala naman po silang dapat ikabahala or isipan ng masama si Joris kasi po nakikita din naman po nila sa mga pictures namin kasi yun nga po yung sinabi ko earlier na kailangan po maging honest ka sa parents mo. Kasi siyempre po, lalo na po malayo po ako sa kanila. So, mahirap po i-break yung trust ng parents. Lalo na kapag narinig pa nila muna sa iba bago sa'yo, di ba po? So, yun po. Talagang binild ko din po si Joris sa family ko, hindi lang po sa parents ko. Pinapakita ko po sa kanila kung gaano po siya ka-sweet, kung gaano po siya kabait, and kung paano niya po ako tinitake care. So, ayun po.
Yeah, there are several things that we can get from our conversation, from our chat with Paula and Joris, from Paula especially, because Paula has been very consistent about, staying true to her Filipino roots, which honestly is not really that dominant, not a dominant trait among teens, among young adults these days. So, I really appreciate that and I admire that you still have that. And then there's the importance to family, how your family will see Joris and the relationship that you have. You are very honest with them. When in fact, it they're far away. You can actually get away with whatever you do, but you held on to that. And also, another thing that we can get from Paula is her faith that she prayed for the man that she will have, so she held on to that again because that was a gift to her that was given to her. Joris was given to her at the time when she was asking for, not really asking but praying for somebody who will be real to her, right?
Opo.
So, kasi I do, much as I want to believe that that is still dominant trait among our kids these days, it's not. We know that because of, we are having so many liberal views already, liberal attitude. So I hope that someday, at some point, some of our teens and some of our young adults will get something from this, especially that Paula is so far away from her family. And yet, she was like that. And eventually, I'm so excited to talk about your proposal, your pamanhikan. Please explain to Joris what's pamanhikan and eventually your marriage. But before that, let's play a game. Can we play a game?
Sige po. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Because friends, we have this game for Paula and Joris, and they've got to, answer with a him and her thing. Are you ready?
Yay! We're ready.
All right. Thank you to Paula for preparing that. First question. I'll just take myself out from the screen. First question. Who is the jealous type? 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, you know each other. Um, whom who's most likely to get angry first? Joris knows you very well. So, who makes peace first after a fight? Ah, you are spoiled. Next, who is more sweet? Who is romantic? More romantic? Have you noticed everything they answer the same way? Next, who said I love you first? Alam mo, you haven't you haven't been wrong yet. Who's the messy one? Ah, who's the better cook?
Ah, yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Those are your compatibility questions. Of course, those do not represent, everything about you. But as we can see, they just answered, they answered the same way all throughout all the questions. Can we move on to your proposal? Can
Okay.
you tell us about your proposal, please? Share with us your kilig moments.
Do you
Um.
want to tell it?
Yeah.
Okay. You will tell it.
Mm, so we already started talking about marriage a bit before, like for a couple of months. So we knew it was getting serious. I mean, it was already serious, but really getting to the next level. and cherry blossom was coming, so we wanted to do like a photo shoot, something that is pretty traditional in Korea. Usually, everyone do that, and I planned to ask her on that day, and but it was a bit tricky because she wanted to set up the camera every time. She wanted, to perfect the angle, and uh, you know, girls like to take this kind of picture. So I was not sure I would be able to do that. So at some point, I just took the camera and I say, "Okay, go there. I have an ID." And then yeah, I set up the camera, and while I was walking back to stand next to her for the picture, I took out the ring I bought from my jacket, and then I don't remember if I counted, but yeah, she was not really expecting it. And yeah, I just turned around and I started talking to her, and she started crying because she quickly understood what was going on. So yeah, and then yeah, I just told why I loved her and that I wanted to marry her and spend my life with her, and yeah, I proposed, and she said yes directly, so I was very happy.
Pero honestly po, Ate Wendy, that time, I kind of expected it po.
Uh-huh.
And akala ko po, kasi nga po parang expected ko na po. Kasi before he proposed, yun nga po, he asked for the blessing of my parents when we went to the Philippines. And then after that, we started planning the wedding na po. So,
Uh-uh.
parang yung proposal is nangyari after we started planning the wedding.
Yeah.
So, yun nga po nung slightly lang naman po, slightly na ine-expect ko na magpo-propose siya that time. Ta's parang ine-expect ko hindi na din po ako iiyak kasi nga po ine-expect ko na this is the day. Pero yun nga po nung lumuhod na po siya, honestly wala pa akong naintindihan sa mga sinasabi niya that time. Parang slow motion po yung nangyayari. And ang isa pa po, dati kasi nung mag-boyfriend-girlfriend po kami, sabi ko po sa kanya no'n, if ever dumating kami sa point na magpo-propose siya, ayoko po nung engrande, yung maraming tao. So, nung time po na yon sobrang intimate po kasi kaming dalawa lang yung nandun sa spot na yon sa Kim Yong University po. So,
Yeah,
ayun
and
po.
it looked perfect kasi with all those cherry blossoms. So, Joris, you just set up the camera and did
Yeah,
your thing.
yeah, because that was the challenge in this proposal. She wanted a video of it, so it was tricky to trying to figure out
To set up.
how to set up and how to not give away too much clue about it.
Yeah.
So we
Especially
took
if
like
there's
nine
just the two of
pictures.
you.
Yeah, we took like, I don't know, picture for more than 1 hour before I actually went for it.
Opo.
And there was a lot of people too. So
Opo. He mentioned before that we will just do a photo shoot in that university with the cherry blossoms. But the struggle there was a closer university in my place that also have the same cherry blossoms environment setting. So he was trying to convince me to go to his university, but I didn't want to because it was far that time, Ate Wendy. Medyo malayo po kung saan ako nakatira. So,
Yeah.
and then we had our photo shoot, kaming dalawa. I was always doing the setup of the tripod and the angle and everything. So, it was really a struggle for him na, shoo, doon ka nga ako na ako magse-setup. So, yun po, without giving any clues that he's going to propose to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Joris, you really got it because, women, especially Filipino women, loves to have photos and videos. And once we want to have that surprise element, but also how can some without other people involved, how can you have that surprise element if you need to set up things? So kudos to you, congratulations to you for pulling it through.
thank
But
you.
how was the How was the meet the parents thing? When you first met Paula's parents in the Philippines, and then Paula meeting your parents, did you meet his parents prior to the wedding or during the wedding prep na?
Only his dad po.
Mm-hmm.
So before our wedding
So
preparations
Joris
po.
muna, when he went to the
Ah,
Philippines, how was it meeting the
um,
family?
Yeah, so it was the first time I went to the Philippines, so I didn't know the country, um, neither the culture, pretty much nothing about it except Paula. And um, so I went there to ask her parents their blessing, to ask Paula to marry me. So I think we went for maybe 1 week. I don't remember exactly how long.
mm,
And it was a bit, how to say, it was a bit difficult, because her parents are more like shy
shy.
people, and
Mm-hmm.
so there were. It was a bit hard to
Communicate.
yeah, communicate first because of my English, which is not native at all. It's like the French English. So
Yeah,
first
yeah.
of all, it's hard for them to understand when I speak, and maybe yeah, there was this kind of cultural barrier as well, which was a bit hard to break at first, but at some point, it just become natural, because we were staying in her house, so naturally you start communicating with people in the house, and so her parents. So you just ask question about the food, or the country, or the culture, or anything, and then you start knowing each other. So yeah, it was hard, but it was okay. The times I've been after again in the Philippines were better, as well.
Yeah. Speaking of cultural barrier, cultural differences, do you have something like that in France also? Like you have to ask for the woman's hands from her parents?
We had this before. You were supposed to ask the dad. Um, like it was not a blessing, not like not the same way as the Philippines. The old school French style was the dad must give the permissions, otherwise you wouldn't be able to marry the woman. Um, so it was like kind of more strict thing. But no, France is like more liberal and multicultural country. So all those old traditions doesn't apply anymore. And usually people start living together first, and then some of them get married, and a lot of them get divorced. So yeah, it's completely different from the Philippines.
Yeah, Joris, you have to remember we don't have divorce in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
That's why I told him to get married in the Philippines, Pati Wendy.
Yeah, we are the only country aside from Vatican,
Opo.
outside of Vatican, that does not have divorce. Yeah, so yeah, I saw Joris looking at you. You're
I was
committed for
like,
life, Joris. Yeah, and pamanhikan. He knows pamanhikan, right?
Opo.
Pamanhikan asking for a woman's hand from her family is a very Filipino tradition. Again, not everyone does that these days. So I really appreciate it when Paula um, told us about the pamanhikan, about the asking for your hand, for her hand in marriage, because again, that's keeping up with the Filipino tradition, and I'm very big about tradition because there are so many things that we can let go, traditions, but there are things that we have to hold on to, because these are the things that, make us what we are, make us, stand out as our identity. And also, it's a very good foundation for your relationship, for your marriage. Para akong counselor.
Opo.
Anyway, Doris, what was the trigger? What made you think that Paula is the one?
Um, there was no like moment, or like there was no like specific event that made this. It's just it was more like a process, a long process that it's a bit hard to explain, but basically, to me, the idea is that one day, one of your friend or anyone will ask you if you think you will marry this person, and at some point maybe you say maybe, but I don't know, it's too early or something like that. And then without even realizing it, a bit later another person will ask you the same question, but you will have a different answer. So maybe you will be more like, yeah, I think why not? It could be good. And then a bit later, the same question again and different answer. But you don't notice like that. You don't notice you're changing your answer. It's just naturally coming with time. So if there was like one trigger, it's just when we started talking about the wedding directly together. Um, but yeah, otherwise there was no like changing moments that made me think it was the time to get married.
It came naturally. It came as part of your daily, the way you do things, the way you do your relationship.
Right.
So it's not like pilit. You have to explain that to Joris. Hindi siya
Opo.
pilit. It just came out. It's you are bound for life, and you start preparing for your life together in the future. Um, did you have difficulty, Joris, adjusting to the Filipino tradition that Paula imposed on you, which I really appreciate.
Well, I'm kind of open-minded, so I was curious first to. I was excited to go over there to learn about the country and the cultures and trying the food too. And well, it was an adjustment. Just the climate was hard for me.
Yeah.
It was crazily hot. Um, and I felt a bit lost because well, Paula was spending a lot of time with her family too, because she didn't see her family for a while, so a lot of catch up. And but like I never felt really abandoned because like her mom was I can feel that her mom was trying to make a connection with me sometimes,
Mm,
and I was like her sisters were also supportive, and like since we are like the more or less the same age, we can talk about like younger people things too. Um, I think the worst thing that I had experienced in the Philippines the first time was Manila's traffic.
yeah.
Mm, I wanted to visit a bit Philippines and Manila as well because it was my first time, so I wanted to see a bit about the life. But we couldn't do much because of this crazy traffic.
I
So
understand. Yeah.
yeah, I got kind of annoyed and pissed from time to time because I felt like I was wasting my time
Inside the car.
inside a car doing nothing. Uh, Pretty much, yeah, nothing to do except just sleeping most of the time.
We
Uh,
we
Yeah.
had
So
so many plans
yeah,
to tour him around, but yeah, because of the traffic, like it's difficult to go around Manila.
yeah.
So
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
otherwise it was a good experience. I mean, the food was great, and her family was very nice. So yeah.
so Paula's family didn't give you a hard time at all.
No, I'm trying to think, but no, I
There
don't
was like,
remember.
no.
I don't remember something like I really. I was really like I really didn't want to do. No, no, there was no such thing.
That's good to hear. So, um, wedding day. Because I know, Paula, you were preparing for the wedding from here, from Korea, and it
Opo.
was a logistical challenge as well to pull it through. And then there was rain, and then Joris had to bring his family to and friends to the Philippines. Friends! Joris had to bring his family and friends to the Philippines. Paula, I wish we have pictures.
Oo nga.
Yeah. So there I just saw it in photos. There were people from France and people from Korea who went to the Philippines for the wedding. How was it?
It was very beautiful, Ate Wendy, more than what we expected. Um,
Mm-hmm.
sobrang worth it po yung struggle sa pagpa-plan kasi po in the beginning I was doing the negotiation with the suppliers. I was sending emails, as in through emails ko lang po sila nakakausap. Even paghingi ng mga discount through email, everything was done through email until siguro po also we only had like 6 months to plan the wedding. So
Uh-huh.
after 3 months po parang personally, I didn't really want to hire a coordinator because I believe that I can do it myself, that I can pull everything by myself. But then I also thought and prayed that during the wedding day, pwede naman po pala yung kukuha ka lang ng coordinator on the wedding
On
day
the day
itself.
coordinator, yeah.
But that time I didn't know about it. So, um, kumuha na po kami ng coordinator and, actually she was very happy to, participate in the wedding kasi nga po I've booked all the suppliers already. So, yun po during our wedding, in the morning, there was really a very nice weather. It was really a very nice weather. It was sunny and it's not too hot. And then we were doing the photo shoot before yung preparation, mga wedding preps po, before the wedding ceremony. And then came noon time. It started to be cloudy and then it was raining a little bit. And then I started to worry, not really stressed, but I was really worried about the weather. That's all thing that I was worried about. Because even the day before the wedding po, there was heavy raining all day. So I was really nervous and worried and I was like constantly praying for the weather itself. But we both know that there's no backing out. Wala naman pong uh we didn't really have any struggles during the wedding preparations. There's
Yeah, that's one thing I think that personally stressed me out a lot. Like during the preparation when well she was doing her hair, makeup, and you had all the camera and you are doing photo shoot and stuff like that. So you're already very busy, and you also have to think about. I had to think about my French friend and family.
Right.
Um, and
because they don't speak English.
yeah, not much. And at some point, we had to take a decision about the ceremony setup, which was do we I don't know the
With the
English name.
tent.
Yes, do we set up tents or not? So it was like trying to predict if it's raining or not during the ceremony. The problem is that the tents were like the safe option, but it was kind of pangit.
Was
Pangit.
that a pangit? Yeah.
Pangit.
Because we would like to inform our friends that you had a garden wedding.
Opo, garden wedding in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And also, yung tent po, you have to book it like a week
In
before.
advance. Yeah.
Opo, in advance. So, good thing we had a plan B to the venue itself has a pavilion,
Mm.
but it was a miracle because during the ceremony, at the start of the ceremony, the rain stopped.
Stop, right.
Yes po. And then he jinxed it. He jinxed the rain. When we were doing the washing of the feet, he was telling me, "Oh, good thing it didn't rain." And then right after he said that, the rain
Started.
poured. It started raining for maybe 10 minutes, but it was like a beautiful effect as well in the video, and it was a very romantic as well because it was like in the middle of the ceremony and there's like something to talk about, and like the guests were not complaining as well that it's raining and something like that. So it was very memorable to us and very, very beautiful.
Yeah, actually, it's even in the Philippines, we would say it's a blessing. The rain was a blessing to the both of blessed you.
Um,
The skies blessed you. Your marriage, the start of your marriage. All right, moving forward from the wedding, serious talk. Because Paula resigned from her job. You're now a stay-at-home mom, um, stay-at-home wife. So Paula, you graduated from your master's, of course, and you were working prior to the marriage. Was there any react? What did your parents say about it?
They were very happy po and supportive for both of us, hindi lang, not just for me.
I mean, you stopping work.
Ah, they didn't really have any say about it po, Ate Wendy. They let me decide on my own to become independent, and also that's the thing din po kasi in the Philippines before I left. I was living with my family, so I also wanted to experience an independent life po. So it's also like one reason then for me, kaya po ako nagpunta dito sa Korea is to have an independent life. And when I quit my job, it was also the right time because Ate Wendy, that time, the company I was working for was going on bankruptcy. So it was like right timing din po that I quit the job.
Mm, that's nice. I mean, not the bankruptcy, but you were somehow also sorry about that. Sorry, company. And also, Joris was also ready to take you in, as you know. And any plans for babies?
Uh, yeah, I mean, we will have. I mean, we want babies, but we don't know yet when. We will
Exactly.
probably, yeah. We want to wait a bit because, well, the plans are kind of canceled right now, but we want to travel first, just like visit at least a couple of countries that we really want to go before building like a bigger family.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
And also, Ate Wendy, you remember we were supposed to go back home to the Philippines
mm,
last year,
yeah.
right.
but we had plans to get settled in the Philippines, to have our own house, to build our family there. But like Joyce mentioned, we wanted to spend more time together because we believed that when we were doing the long distance relationship, like we spend more time apart than
Hmm.
together. And also when he came back to Korea, he was living in Seoul. I was living in Daegu
Yeah.
before we
All
got
right.
married. So it's also like a long distance. We only see each other on weekends. But it was better than before because it was like Korea and France. But now it's like different cities. So yun po yung our plans. Sana po. Pero we don't know yet when exactly.
Yeah, yeah. We have the best of plans, but if it's not the time yet, you know, we've had lots of plans that didn't
Yes.
push through. One is the pandemic. Second, you know, divine intervention, whatever. Um, we it's very interesting, and I really appreciate the time that you spent with us. And it's not just about the kilig factor that I wanted to show here, or that we wanted to show or to share here. I know that Paula has a very sincere story to tell, and Joris, especially, we have great lessons to learn from the kind of relationship that they have, from the way they built their relationship, from the importance that they give to their families. Especially Joris, I'm biased to Paula because I know the culture, I know the dynamics of a Filipino family, much as we want to hold on to that. These days, the younger generation do not really practice that, but Paula did. Paula is still doing that. So it is something that we hope the younger ones could learn from and do also to themselves and to their families. Paula and Joris, any last words to inspire our friends?
I'll start po. When it comes to love, do not rush it. Wag ipilit kapag hindi pinagkaloob sa'yo ng Diyos. Wag pilitin yung gusto mo lang kasi paminsan yung gusto natin yun yung ikinapapahamak natin. So, sabi nga sa Bible, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen and He makes everything beautiful in His time.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like, I would say that love doesn't have like magical recipe.
Yes.
So it's a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment, and that's life choice you have to make. It's not something that happens
Overnight.
yeah overnight, right? Um, so I mean, movies and book stories are very nice to read and watch, but it's all about commitment and really giving away part of your life to the other person. So yeah, if anyone is in this kind of difficult situation, like long distance or even starting to having doubt about the other person, just talk through it, communicate, and really try to make it work, because when you go through those difficult times, that's when it makes your relationship very strong, and that's how you end up deciding to spend your life with the other person. So yeah, keep fighting.
Keep
Fighting!
fighting. Joris has always been very consistent from the very start. But there's no magic involved. It's not like fairy tale or those very romantic novels that we have. It's real life. It's what happens in real life, and you just have to work for it, work hard for it, because that's the reality. That's how it is. We don't rely on magical feelings and those fairy tale romances around. Paul and Joris, thank you very much for your time, and thank you
Thank
very
Thank
much for
you
you.
sharing with
po.
us your stories. I'll see you
Thank
again.
Uh,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you po.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
po. Bye.
Bye
Please stay.
bye.
Um, France, please stay because um, we are going to have the result of our Lunar New Year giveaway. May ano pa ako I cannot get over yet about the conversations that we had, but maybe I'll process it after we do I'll process it on my own, and you have to process it. Hopefully you will process it on your own also, because we just got beautiful, beautiful lessons, beautiful messages from the both of them. And it's real talk, it's real life. It's not a novel that you read. Ah, so there, parang heavy, not heavy, light feeling, pero I really love the conversation that we had today. Okay, so moving on to our Lunar New Year giveaway. Let's do it together. Um, let me see. I'll share with you the screen. Let's do the YouTube random picker. Is it already is it already on the screen? Share. Share. I need to share our Chrome here. Sorry, here. All right, here, there you go. You can see it's already on the screen. I know there's delay. There. All right, so I'm going to put the URL of the YouTube video of the Lunar New Year giveaway. And remember, the winner will be the winner will be from the time we finish the video, we publish the video until now. So let's see. How to find YouTube there. Filter duplicate users is okay. I didn't do that. I didn't have a rule about that. Get YouTube comments. We will only consider the winner when the comments are, greetings. Let's see. Get YouTube comments. There are 200, 300, 400. Wait, let me check. This is the YouTube. Okay. This is the YouTube URL. And let's get the YouTube comments. What, are there many comments? Oh, I'm surprised. So yeah, it's apparently maraming duplicate comments. I was not able to make a rule about not doing duplicate comments, so we have to consider that now. There are 681 comments all in all. Now let's do the raffle. Good luck, friends. Let's see who's going to win. Let's start the raffle and pick the random winner. There you go. Let's see who's winning. Rochelle Jimenez. Rochelle Jimenez comments is Blessed New Year. Wait, I'll just screenshot this. Blessed New Year po and more fruitful and healthy years to come po para po sa father niyo din po, Miss Wendy. There you go. Congratulations. Congratulations to our winner, Rochelle Jimenez. Please message me in my Facebook, how do you call that? Please message me in my Facebook page so that I will know your address and contact number so that I could send it to you. Thank you very much. Good evening. See you again next week. But before that, please don't forget Paula's YouTube channel. Let me share it again. Don't forget Paula's YouTube channel. It's just Paula. There you go. So there. See you again next week. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Good night.